Hello, everybody, to a special edition of These Aren't the Nerds You're Looking For, a trailer release today that Kevin and I want to talk about. There was an extended sneak peek for Star Wars Resistance, even though it just comes out a week and a half from today, basically. So they're just giving us another extra look right before the premiere of the episode on October 7th on the Disney Channel at 10 p.m. So, yeah. How's it going, Kevin?
Man, it's going pretty good.
Should we just quickly go through this trailer is definitely longer than the first one. The first one was 60 seconds, and this one's about 3 minutes, correct?
Yeah, 2 minutes something.
Yeah. So it's reaching up there. We get a lot more of the story for this one. So we get reintroduced to the new characters again. Poe Dameron comes back up.
Yeah, it's basically the first trailer with some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
completely.
The first one was 1 minute 1 second long. This one is 2 minutes 58 seconds. So yeah, like I said, I mean, almost everything that we saw in the first trailer is in this, and then we get some other stuff that comes along with it. And there was a couple of things that we just kind of wanted to comment on and give our opinions about. So you guys can watch that trailer if you haven't yet. If you haven't, I suggest that you do. And we'll go from there. So aside from what we've already seen, we kind of get more of the same. There's more, there's definitely some dialogue of kind of explaining what's going on, and we got our main character kind of montaging through some stuff. We got some more flying, we got some more drama, some more action. This one I felt was pretty action packed.
Yes.
It starts with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it just pushes forward at a nice clip from there through to the end. And then there's some character that is, I guess, honestly, I don't know who it is. But the last comment of the trailer is basically like, I'm super excited about this. I'm getting chills, or something to that effect, and I'm not sure that I disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, the timing of the release of this trailer is really interesting to me because it's so close to the premiere of the show itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's weird that we get a 3-minute extended sneak peek. At this point, I would expect to see a lot of 30-second TV spots coming out, right? But yeah, the strategy is interesting to me. But I agree. There's a lot of action. We get to see a lot more of the colorful, bright animation that we discussed in the last discussion about the first trailer. That I really, again, it solidifies how much I really do enjoy this animation style. I really like these clean lines, this hybrid between that 2D look with a 3D feel to it, right? And we get to definitely see a few more characters, a few more creatures. We get a lot of creatures happening in this one.
There
a
is
lot more droids.
A lot more droids. A
Yes.
Colombian monkey lizard, and one character that is really in this thing for 4 seconds, but to pause a little bit, Lorenzo and I kind of went back and forth, should we take the time to talk about this thing, seeing as, the first episode comes out in another week and a couple of days. But we get to see Leia.
Mm-hmm.
In this trailer, and I don't know who did the voice for Leia, but it is spot fucking on, and this one little 4-second detail is really something that boosted my excitement, anticipation, maybe, for this series. You guys have probably already listened to our review of the first trailer, and I gave that one a thumbs down. Right. This one, I'm giving a thumbs up. For sure. This did more for me to get me excited to watch this series than the original teaser trailer did. I don't know if you feel the same.
I was excited from the first one, and this one kind of just keeps it rolling. Like I won't say I'm any more excited than I was before, because I was kind of already at a high level. I was pretty excited for this series to begin with, especially with I really like Poe Dameron as a character. So to see, it might just be the first episode and he might disappear, but just to see that he's kind of somewhat involved in setting up the series, I'm really excited to see. And yes, that they included Leia as a character in this show seems very appropriate and very awesome. And I like even that she shows up at like around the 2-minute mark out of 3 minutes. So she's not even like the big reveal or anything. And then I really liked afterwards that they, as we kind of get into a montage of more stuff that's previewed here, we get Gwendolyn Christie as well as Captain Phasma.
I'm glad you brought her up. We had seen images that suggested Phasma was going to be in this. Gwendolyn Christie's name has been attached to Resistance, so I thought that her inclusion in this trailer, you get to hear, you get to see her, you get to hear her. It gave me that warm feeling inside, like, ooh, this is a thing, like this is cementing this in the Star Wars universe.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Poe, Phasma, Leia. I mean, BB-8's there. BB-8's a droid, which is nice. BB-8 is the R2 of the new era of Star Wars, which is cool. But those 3 human characters pulled me in even more. Poe Dameron, I can take or leave Poe Dameron. Maybe controversial, whatever. That's kind of my feelings on Poe. But Leia and Phasma, like, I'm down. This is, I am definitely more excited than I was the first time around. We also saw an image of Starkiller Base.
Yes.
With some First Order Star Destroyers. And there is, midway through this, there is a character that looks like an Imperial officer. So I'm guessing that maybe that is a First Order officer, right? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, so I don't know. It's like midway through, and whoever this character is says something to the effect of I don't know if he did. I don't think he calls them the Resistance. Doesn't call them the Rebels. It, like, calls them whatever they are, and says something to the effect of they're essentially like amassing ships and equipment and growing stronger and growing more support. And so that character says that. Then we see Starkiller Base, and like up to that point, it's just Kazuda. Is that the guy's name? Like the main character?
Again, yeah, off the top of my head, I don't recall. I know we talked about it a lot in the last one. I had like information in front of me. For this one, I was just like, nope, we're just gonna get into the discussion. But
yeah, I did
all
jot
that
down
information.
I did jot down a couple notes, but I think Kazuda is like the main character. So it's like we had like the main character shit, and then we had this one dude talking about like a growing force against them, whoever them are. And then we see Starkiller Base, and at that point, my brain was like, "Wait, like I'm super confused. Like, who's supposed to be the good guys? Who's supposed to be the bad guys? Like, who's what? Like, kind of a mind fuck of like what who am I rooting for? Maybe like, is this like a guerrilla warfare tactic type of thing? Like I just had like this weird brain spatial thing where it's like the good guys and the bad guys like flipped in my brain, and I didn't. It gave me this confusing moment that was delightful, where I felt at that point like, okay, maybe this Resistance project is going to be a little more mature and a little deeper than the feeling that I got watching the first teaser trailer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this one, like I said, this one definitely gives away more story beats and sets up the world a lot better than that teaser did. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something we mentioned in that last one, where for I don't know why they went with 60 seconds first. Mm-hmm. So I think last time I argued that 60 seconds is good for a TV ad, and that's how I try to push you to view through the lens for it, right? Because like TV advertising works a lot differently than like a traditional trailer might. This one is like a full trailer.
I think that's exactly what that was, but at the same time, I think that's exactly what this is. I think this is, Disney doesn't just do it, but there's other, like,
because 3 minutes is way too long for anything on television.
Yeah, but if you're playing like over the end credits and you're cutting your advertising time just a little bit in between shows, like that's where I see this.
End credits, you still get like 30 seconds
to
a minute at most. Like you don't get 3 full minutes for credits.
Very true.
Right.
So, like the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, those shorts originally played like in between other episodes on Cartoon Network. Yeah. There was other things, and those are...
But Cartoon Network shows, though, exist as like 15-minute programming.
Okay.
Because you have to, like, Adventure Time episodes are 15 minutes.
So is that like actual 15 minutes, or is that like it's a 15-minute show, but it's really like 12 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
So those were still full episodes in their own right, but not what we would consider like a full television episode per se.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a 22.
22, or if it's an hour long, that equates to like
44 or
48 or whatever. Either way, like wherever they're showing this thing, if it's fucking on TV or not, I'm watching it on YouTube,
it says extended sneak peek, so I think this is its own thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I'm seeing this one too. It's like it's extended sneak peek. It'll probably just appear only on YouTube. It's a good look for us nerds who want to kind of know what we're getting into.
I can't lie, man. It worked for me.
Yeah. So I'm
excited. Did you have any inclination that this was coming?
No, had no clue. Yep. Just you were the one that sent me the link, and I was like, oh, hey.
And it just popped up today on, I think I saw it on Twitter, right? That was today? Mm-hmm. That wasn't yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, came out today. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because, usually the Star Wars and Disney Twitters will be on top of releasing these sort of things. So, but yeah, it's just a short weekend 2 days away. I still have questions about that 10 o'clock start time. I don't know why.
And that is also something that is pushing me to think that maybe this is going to cater to a more adult audience.
I don't know. The trailer didn't give me that feeling, though.
The
trailer still had a lot of gags in it. The trailer still had a lot of physical gags. During one of the more intense montages, he says something like, you just got to, like, grip it or something like that. And then they have a clip of him piloting a ship, and the actual joystick, like, breaks off.
Oh, he says it's all in the wrist.
Yeah, it's all in the wrist, and then
essentially
like
he tweaks his wrist and pops the we talked about this before, what those things are called. The yoke.
Yes, yeah. So it still has a lot of that like sort of humor that has appeared in definitely both Clone Wars and early Rebels for sure. So I'm hoping it's just a trailer shoving a lot in, and that it's more sparing throughout the series, right?
I thought the same thing. I was hoping that all of this isn't shit that happens like in the first 2 episodes, and then
Which
after
is
that,
likely.
and then after that, a lot of the feel of what we'll see just kind of falls into a specific pattern, and what we saw in the trailer is gone. I hope that doesn't happen, but it very well could.
Yes, I agree. So, but we'll be back to talk about Resistance as soon as we get a chance to get eyes on it. So
I have one question for you before I'm going to let you go. This is going to be a short one for you guys. We're not going to talk ad nauseum, but my question is, does this trailer give you any more thought as to how this fits into the bigger Disney Star Wars experience? Because we do see Starkiller Base, Phasma is alive, Poe's there, BB-8, so this stuff has to take place before The Force Awakens.
Before Force Awakens, yeah. This is definitely before Force Awakens. I'm definitely hoping, and I'm, like I said, I'm not going to try and go in the show with high expectations or anything, and that's not a knock on Disney or Lucasfilm or anything. It's just kind of, I always try and temper my expectations. Some people go in riding real high, right?
That's the kind of viewer that I am. I'm high, real high, or real low, or indifferent, and that skews my movie going experience severely. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
No, I always try and just let the thing be and then go in. But clearly, I'm excited for it. I think the hope I have most is that it kind of explains the ideology of both the Resistance and the First Order a lot more. Especially in a world where there's a new Republic. So what is the First Order rallying against? What is their beef? What is their problem? That's not entirely clear throughout Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Like Kylo Ren's intentions are very clear. He's trying to please the legacy of his grandfather. Last Jedi sets up that he, in his way, was betrayed by Luke Skywalker. That is clear to me. Now, as to what the First Order overall is rallying against,
right? General Hux, Phasma, and the rest of the gang.
Yes. Why do they feel the need to rebuild the Empire? Right. Like that.
What is
or the legacy of the Empire per se, if not the Empire itself. Right.
What is wrong with the structure of the New Republic that the First Order has to exist? Yes,
exactly.
And then also, I will say, same question, what is wrong with the structure of the New Republic that the Resistance has to exist? Because I was
going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The exact same thing.
This series does seem to pit two factions that seem to both be against a central idea against each other.
Yes. So if there is a complaint so far about the new Skywalker saga films, that's definitely the overarching point, that like the movies run along at a nice enough clip that it's there. It doesn't bother me. I still like Force Awakens, and I definitely like Last Jedi.
But the motivation of the Resistance and the First Order are murky?
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but it's definitely something I would hope that in a weekly television format that we can hammer down.
And that is, I totally agree. And I got out of this trailer that we're going to get some of those answers. But thinking back, maybe catering to the clientele of who their target audience is.
Yeah.
Is that what is needed out of this? New show?
It's going to be the balance. And I'm not going to lie. My only other concern is that both Clone Wars and Rebels, to be honest, took a while to find their grooves.
They did for sure.
Like the first
Rebels,
half of Rebels season 1, it was a lot of filler. It was a lot of pointless stuff. Like nothing really built to anything. The episodes themselves individually were weak, in my opinion. And then it wasn't really until season 2 that the show really got me in, and I became a fan of the show rather than a fan watching the show.
I agree with you, but I will say that the Clone Wars took even longer. So,
oh yes,
the
definitely.
Clone Wars took a long time to
Absolutely.
get into the good shit. Rebels did take some time,
Yes,
but found its flow. I'm hoping that Resistance, although it will take a little bit of time, gets into its flow even more quickly.
absolutely.
So,
All right, that's everything I got to say about this extended sneak peek.
that's all I got.
Awesome.
Star
Let's do
Wars
our normal-
Resistance extended sneak peek. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's just do our normal. Please rate, subscribe, all that jazz.
Yeah.
If you want to respond to us in any way.
Twitter at Not the Nerds, Facebook Not the Nerds Podcast. Old style email is notthenerdspodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And what else were you going to say there?
Nope, that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I got,
All right.
man. These aren't
Yeah.
the nerds you're looking for.
Bye-bye.